Look at me. Look into my eyes right now. I need you to pause and really focus because what I'm about to say is more than just words. It's a key and understanding that will unlock the prison cell you didn't even realize you were sitting in. Now I know you felt it, that strange cold shiver running down your spine, that inexplicable sensation when you're sitting alone in a room, yet you feel the weight of eyes upon you. You may have brushed it off, calling it paranoia, or perhaps you even thought it was anxiety creeping up. But what if I told you that it's neither of those things? What if I told you that what you're sensing is not just some random fear, but a deep spiritual discernment? That feeling, that knowing is a sign that you are being watched, audited, if you will, by people who on the surface pretend to have no interest in you. In fact, they might claim to dislike you, even resent you, but the truth is they are obsessed with you. In this world, in this generation, hate has almost become a full-time job. People no longer just ignore you. They watch, they study, and they wait. They wait for you to stumble. They wait for you to fall. They wait for you to show that you're not as holy or as chosen as you seem to be. They wait for you to slip up and give them proof that you're just like everyone else, just like them. But here's the prophetic twist, the truth they didn't see coming. The very obsession they have with you, the time they spend watching, analyzing, and even gossiping about you, it's actually the proof of your promotion. Think about it for a second. They are obsessed because they can't figure out how you're still standing. They know your story. They know the battles you faced. They've seen the pain you've endured. They've heard the rumors. They've seen the moments of defeat, and yet you're still here. You're still standing. You are still moving forward, and to them it doesn't make sense. You are a walking miracle, a testimony that defies their logic. You are proof that God's hand is on your life, that His protection is real, and that His destiny for you is unbreakable. And that's why they're watching. That's why they're studying you. They want to know how you survived what should have destroyed you, how you came out of every storm unscathed, how you endured every trial without losing your faith, how you still carry yourself with strength and peace in the midst of chaos. What they don't realize is that the more they focus on you, the more they actually reveal your power. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on this divine mystery. We're going to break down why you have been through what you've been through, why your circle has shrunk, why you've had to walk this path alone, and why this loneliness you're experiencing is actually a high-level security clearance straight from the Creator Himself. So don't look away. Stay with me because your deliverance is in the details of this message, and if you receive it, it will shift your perspective forever. First things first, isolation is not rejection. It's redirection. Now I need you to hear that loud and clear. Because when you walk with a calling, when your life carries weight and significance, access to you must be restricted. Not everyone is meant to be near you. Not everyone is allowed to be close to something that God is upgrading. There are people who were once in your life, people you thought would always be by your side, who were removed not because of your failure, but because they could not be trusted with the next version of you. And here's the kicker, if they couldn't handle who you were before, they surely wouldn't have been able to handle who you are becoming. So don't see the loss of friends. Don't see the reduction of your circle as punishment. See it as God's way of protecting you. He's closing doors, not to hurt you, but to safeguard your future. Your silence right now, the quiet strength you're walking in, is also frustrating your enemies. You see, they expected a reaction from you. They expected you to break down. They expected to see you crumble under pressure, to lash out, to explain yourself, to give them an emotional outburst. But you didn't give them what they expected. Instead, you've shown them something far more powerful, your quiet strength. And that, my friend, is psychological warfare. It's unsettling to people who are used to seeing others react in pain, in drama, in chaos. They don't know how to deal with someone who refuses to be shaken, who doesn't let external circumstances dictate their internal peace. Nothing makes your enemies feel more uncomfortable than watching you carry on with grace and dignity when they thought for sure you would fall. That silence, that composure, it speaks volumes and it frustrates them to no end. But you know what? You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to react. Your very silence is speaking louder than any words ever could, and you don't even need to justify it. It's a declaration that you are not governed by the world's standards. You are governed by something far greater. But that's just the beginning. The reason why they're studying you so intently is because you've broken a pattern. You've done what others thought was impossible. They saw you go through a trial that should have destroyed you, and instead of crumbling, you rose. Instead of returning to your old ways, you chose growth. Instead of staying in relationships where you weren't valued, you walked away. And in doing so, you exposed the growth and strength that others are still too afraid to tap into. And that, my friend, that is uncomfortable for people who are stuck, people who are still living in their own excuses, people who are still afraid to change, people who are still attached to things that hold them back. When you refuse to go back to what broke you, when you refuse to let pain define you, when you refuse to stay in the places where you weren't valued, you become a mirror to those around you. Your strength exposes their weaknesses, and that discomfort they feel, that frustration, it often turns into criticism, gossip, and silent observation. But remember, this is not about them. This is about you. Your resilience forces them to confront their own choices, their own excuses, and their own limitations. And that's why they're watching. That's why they're obsessed. But your isolation is producing clarity. You see, there's a reason why you've had to walk alone. It's not by accident. It's not a mistake. That loneliness you feel is actually sacred space being cleared for you to hear God's voice more clearly. It's being cleared so you can gain the precision you need for your next season. The crowd is full of distractions. It's easy to get lost in all the noise, in all the opinions, in all the chaos, but your destiny is whispered in solitude. And in that solitude, you'll find the clarity and discernment you need to move forward. So embrace it. Don't resist it. And don't feel sorry for yourself. What feels like abandonment is actually divine preparation, and your life is a mirror. People are watching you because your discipline, your resilience, your faith, and your obedience challenge them. You are living proof that it's possible to break free from the cycles that have held your family and your generation captive. You are showing them that it's possible to walk in integrity, to live in faith, and to rise above the world's expectations, and that forces them to confront their own complacency. But they don't want to confront it, so they criticize you. They talk about you behind your back. They gossip. They try to tear you down. But here's the thing, your success doesn't threaten them, it exposes them. And as uncomfortable as it makes them, it's a reminder to you of how far you've come. So if this message resonates with you, I want you to do something right now. I want you to share this with someone you know who needs to hear it. Because the truth is, there are a lot of people who are walking through life feeling alone, feeling misunderstood, feeling like no one sees them or understands what they're going through. But here's the reality. Your isolation is not a punishment. It's a strategic move in God's divine plan. Share this message. Share the truth that God's hand is on your life and that what others are trying to tear down, God is using to build you up. Leave a comment if this speaks to you. Let others know you're not alone in this and that God is with you every step of the way. As we dive deeper into why your haters are obsessed with you, it's essential to first understand that what you may perceive as isolation is actually divine redirection. You see, isolation is not rejection, far from it. It's the Creator's way of guiding you toward the next version of yourself, preparing you for something far greater than what you've experienced thus far. It's not a punishment, but a protective measure. There were people in your life, people you thought would always be there, who were removed, not because you failed, but because they couldn't handle the next phase of your growth. There's a powerful truth to hold on to. Here, not everyone is equipped to handle your destiny. Some people were with you for one season, but their time in your life has passed. They couldn't see the version of you that was yet to come, the one that would be stronger, wiser, and more powerful. That's why they had to be removed. Your growth demanded a new space. It's like a plant outgrowing its pot. The old pot wasn't big enough to allow it to spread its roots and fully flourish. So in order to protect the plant's future, it had to be transplanted to a new space, a larger one, where it could grow freely. Likewise, your isolation is God's way of creating room for your expansion. The people who didn't understand you or who couldn't support your growth have been moved out of your life to make space for the people who will be aligned with your next level. Don't see it as a loss. It's a redirection for growth and protection. God is setting you up for something more significant. The silence you're experiencing right now is not something you should be afraid of. In fact, it is one of the most powerful tools you have. When you choose to remain silent in the face of adversity, when you don't give in to the temptation to react to every provocation, you are wielding psychological warfare in its highest form. Your silence confounds your enemies. It frustrates them because they're expecting you to react. They want to see you fall apart, to explode with emotion, to defend yourself, to give them the satisfaction of seeing you stumble. But when you remain calm and composed, they don't know how to deal with you. They expected you to give them the drama. They thrive on the emotional outburst that feeds their desire to see you weak. But you didn't give them that. Instead, you showed them a version of strength they didn't anticipate. That's because your silence isn't weakness, it's power. It's a strength that doesn't need to announce itself. It's the kind of power that doesn't need to scream to be heard. Your silence sends a message far louder than any words could. It says that you are no longer living for approval, no longer bound by the need to explain yourself. It says that you are secure in who you are and where you're going, regardless of what anyone thinks or says. That, my friend, is a weapon that disarms the enemy, and they don't know how to handle it. It drives them crazy because they are used to seeing people crumble under pressure, used to seeing reactions and drama. But when you don't give them that, when you stand firm and silent, it messes with their minds. They can't figure you out, and that's a power move. Now, here's something else that's important for you to understand. Your refusal to return to old behaviors or habits, especially after facing struggles, is something that exposes your growth. People don't like change. They don't like to see others outgrow them, especially when they themselves are stuck in the same old patterns. When you rise above the situations that once broke you, when you show that you have learned from the past and refuse to go back to what hurt you, you challenge the very foundation of their comfort zone. You expose their stagnation, and that's unsettling to them. Why? Because they see you doing something they haven't figured out how to do. You broke a pattern that was holding you back, and that's something they haven't been able to do. You didn't collapse when they thought you would. You didn't return to the toxic relationships or habits that once defined you. You didn't go back to the person who lived in fear, doubt, or insecurity. Instead, you chose to rise, to heal, to become stronger. And in doing so, you showed them that change is possible, that growth is not just an idea, but a reality. That's uncomfortable for people who are still stuck in the past, still clinging to the patterns that have kept them where they are. Your growth exposes their unwillingness to change. It forces them to confront the fact that they are not evolving, and that discomfort often gets channeled into criticism, gossip, and judgment. But again, this isn't about you. This is about their inability to move forward. Their discomfort with your progress is not a reflection of your failure. It's a reflection of their own fear. Loneliness, as hard as it can feel, also brings clarity. When you're alone, when the distractions of the world are removed, it's as if the fog lifts and you can see things with greater focus. The noise of other people's opinions, the chaos of the world around you, all of it fades away, and you're left with your own thoughts, your own visions, your own direction. It's in this space of solitude that you can hear the still small voice of God speaking to you, guiding you, directing you. The world wants to keep you distracted. It wants you to buy into its noise and confusion. But when you're alone, when you embrace that space, you are able to tune out the distractions and tap into something far deeper. You begin to understand your purpose more clearly, to see the path that has been laid out for you. You develop the clarity and spiritual authority to move forward with confidence. It's in the solitude that you find your strength, your peace, and your direction. You don't need to look to the crowd for validation. You don't need to follow the crowd to feel important. The crowd will only pull you away from your calling. In your loneliness, you find the clarity that others will never have because they're too distracted by the noise of the world. But you're being prepared for something greater. And as you move forward, you'll find that your resilience begins to expose the weaknesses of those around you. This isn't about putting others down, it's about showing them what's possible. Your resilience, your ability to endure, your unwavering faith and strength forces others to confront their own weaknesses. It makes them uncomfortable because they realize that they have been operating at a lower level, accepting excuses, living in fear, and never fully tapping into their own potential. Your discipline forces them to face their procrastination. Your faith challenges their cynicism. Your strength shines a light on their weakness. And that discomfort manifests in criticism, gossip, and judgment. But remember, this is not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of their internal struggle. They don't know how to handle the fact that you've moved past the things that are still holding them back. And instead of facing their own issues, they'll try to tear you down to make themselves feel better. But you must stand firm. Let their discomfort be the testimony of your growth. It's proof that you are on the right path. And here's something incredibly important for you to grasp. Isolation is not just for protection. It's preparation. You're being built for something bigger than what you see right now. Before you can be seen publicly, before you can be elevated, you have to be prepared in private. God is building you in secret, strengthening you for the moment when you will stand before the world and walk in your destiny without collapsing under the weight of it. This isolation is not a punishment. It's a time of intense preparation. It's where the foundation is being laid, where the structure is being strengthened, so that when you rise, you will be able to withstand the pressure, the scrutiny, and the weight of success. When the world sees you, they won't know all the work that went into it. They won't know the hours of sacrifice, the moments of struggle, the times you stood alone, but they will see the result. And that result will be a testament to the work God has been doing in private. The obsession with your life, the way people can't seem to stop watching, isn't an attempt to expose your weaknesses. It's actually a sign of your divine favor. Their obsession is evidence that God is at work in your life. They may not admit it, but the truth is that they are witnessing your growth. Every time they watch, every time they gossip, every time they analyze your every move, they are actually confirming your value. They are confirming that you are chosen. Their obsession is the proof that God's hand is on you. They're watching because they see something in you that they can't explain. What they meant for harm, God is using for your elevation. They thought they could break you, but instead, they are witnessing your rise. And that, my friend, is the power of divine illumination. Let's take a moment to understand the deeper spiritual purpose behind why your enemies are so obsessed with you. Every single person on this earth operates at a certain frequency, an unseen yet powerful energy that radiates from the core of who they are. This frequency goes beyond the mere physical senses. It taps into the spiritual realm, sending out vibrations that attract or repel the people and situations around them. You, my friend, are operating at a higher frequency, one that disrupts the norms of this world. When you walk into a room, when you speak, when you move through life with purpose and grace, your energy is felt. It's palpable. People notice it even if they can't explain exactly what it is. And that's where the confusion and admiration begin. Those around you may not fully understand why they're drawn to you, but they feel it. They can sense that there's something different about you. You don't conform to the usual patterns. You don't play by the world's rules. You move to a rhythm that's divine, a frequency that's not governed by the limitations of culture comparison or the opinions of others. It's this higher frequency that disturbs the peace of those operating at a lower vibration. They can't quite grasp why you don't respond to their jabs, why you don't collapse under pressure, why you keep moving forward when they thought for sure you would fall. It's because your spirit is tuned to a higher calling, and that calling resonates in ways they can't comprehend. They're watching you not because they understand you, but because they sense that something about you is unexplainable, and that unexplainable force comes from a place they have yet to tap into. But here's the truth: they'll try to imitate you, hoping to capture even a fraction of what you have. They'll try to mirror your style, your language, your confidence, but here's the kicker: they can never replicate what's inside. They can mimic your actions, but they'll never be able to duplicate the anointing that fuels you. This is where the spiritual depth of who you are becomes even more evident. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, they say, but it's also the clearest sign that someone sees something in you they wish they had. Your enemies can try to copy your confidence, your words, even the way you carry yourself, but what they can never steal is the source of your strength. The source of your power, your anointing, the very essence that allows you to rise above the struggles of life. It cannot be copied. They can copy your steps, they can wear the same clothes, they can even repeat your words, but they'll never have the same divine connection that you carry. This is because your anointing doesn't come from trends, from what's popular, or from what can be seen. It's not about the external, it's about what's unseen, what's within you that has been planted by God. Your identity isn't something that can be replicated by human hands. It's divine, it's chosen, it's orchestrated by a higher power, and that's what makes you untouchable. The more they try to imitate you, the more they confirm that you are a prototype. A prototype is the first of its kind. It's not a copy. It's not an imitation. It is a one-of-a-kind design, created with purpose, with intention, with the hands of the Creator. And when people try to mimic what's uniquely yours, they're only proving that they recognize something in you that they can never replicate. They can attempt to reverse engineer your grace, your success, or your vision, but they will always fall short because your blueprint was crafted by God. The plans for your life were written long before they even knew who you were, and no amount of copying or imitating can change that. So let them try. Let them follow your steps. Let them steal your style. Let them attempt to say the same things you say. It only highlights the fact that you are the original and they are merely the imitators. But while they try to copy your outer actions, they'll never be able to copy the power behind them. Now let's address something that might feel uncomfortable at first: your silence. You may have noticed that during moments of great pressure, you've chosen to stay quiet. You've refrained from defending yourself, from explaining yourself, from getting caught up in the noise and chaos around you. And while others may view your silence as fear or weakness, I want you to understand that it is in fact divine protection. There is a reason why you've been led into this quiet space. It's not because you are afraid to speak up or to share your thoughts. It's because your silence is a muzzle of mercy. In the past, you may have been quick to speak, quick to defend yourself, quick to react. But now in the season, God has placed a guard over your mouth, not to stifle you, but to protect you. You're in a season of refinement, a season where everything you say, everything you do, and every step you take has greater weight than before. The words that come out of your mouth are powerful, and right now God is teaching you the value of using them wisely. He's protecting you from releasing things that could be misunderstood, from speaking into environments that aren't ready to receive your message. Sometimes the best thing you can do is remain silent. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. You don't need to explain yourself to anyone. You don't need to justify your journey. You don't need to chase approval. The quiet space you're in is strategic. It's where your purpose is being protected, where your plans are being refined, and where your heart is being prepared for what's to come. Silence is not a sign of fear. It's a sign of trust. You trust that God is in control and that He's handling things for you. You trust that the people who need to hear your message will hear it at the right time. And that's the power of the muzzle of mercy. You are being guarded, protected, and prepared for your next level. But in this process of silence, you may also feel isolated. It's important to understand that what feels like abandonment is actually God's firewall in your life. When you feel as though you are alone, when it seems as if the world has turned its back on you, you are actually being protected by divine boundaries. This isolation is not a form of punishment, it's a higher form of protection. You are being separated from the noise, from the distractions, and from the people who could potentially hinder your progress. This isolation allows you to focus solely on your growth, to fine-tune your skills, and to prepare for what's ahead. It's like a fortress that has been built around you, keeping the wrong influences at bay while you grow and develop into the person you are destined to become. When the time is right, the walls of that fortress will come down, and you will be revealed to the world in a way that others never expected. But right now, in this season of isolation, you are being built in secret. You are being strengthened where no one can see. This is where God does his deepest work, away from the eyes of the public, away from the opinions of others, away from the distractions of the world. This is where your foundation is being solidified. And while it may feel like abandonment, it's actually the greatest form of protection. Now let's talk about what's happening inside of you during this quiet time. You are in the cocoon stage of transformation. The caterpillar doesn't look impressive in the cocoon. It's still, it's quiet, and it may even seem like nothing is happening. But inside, there's a radical transformation taking place. The caterpillar is being liquefied, its very essence broken down and restructured into something completely new. The process is uncomfortable, and from the outside, it may look like the end. But the truth is, it's the beginning of something beautiful. Similarly, in your season of isolation, God is breaking down the old version of you. He's stripping away the things that no longer serve you. He's removing the layers of pain, fear, and insecurity that have held you back. And although it may feel like you're in the dark, although it may feel like nothing is happening, God is working behind the scenes, preparing you for the emergence of something far greater. Your haters may look at your quiet phase and think that you're finished, that you've faded into obscurity. But what they fail to realize is that you're not finished. You're in the process of becoming. You're in the cocoon, and when the time comes, you'll emerge as a butterfly, ready to soar to heights you've never dreamed of. So don't let the silence fool you. Don't let the critics convince you that you've reached your end. This is just the beginning. God is transforming you in ways you can't yet see, and when you emerge, you'll be stronger, wiser, and more powerful than ever before. Keep pressing forward. Keep trusting the process. Your time is coming. As we conclude this powerful message, I want to remind you of something truly important. Your journey is divinely protected. Every step you've taken, every trial you've faced, and every moment of doubt you've experienced has been covered by divine protection. Even when it feels like the world is watching, when people are studying you, analyzing your every move, know this: their scrutiny is not a sign of your failure. It's actually confirmation of your purpose and value. The fact that they are so focused on you, the fact that they can't seem to take their eyes off your life, is evidence that you are walking in a divine assignment. They may not fully understand why they're obsessed with you, but their obsession only amplifies the truth that you have something they can't replicate. You are walking in a favor that they don't yet comprehend. They are witnessing a miracle unfolding before their eyes, and they're powerless to stop it. You are a living testament to the fact that God's hand is on your life, guiding you toward greatness. This brings us to the powerful truth about who you are. You are not a suspect in some grand trial. You are a sovereign being rising to fulfill a divine destiny that only you were chosen to accomplish. The obsession of your enemies, their constant attempts to tear you down, it doesn't diminish your worth, it affirms it. When people study you like a specimen trying to figure out how you keep rising when they thought you'd fall, it's because they see something in you that threatens them. The truth is, your rise doesn't threaten your enemies as much as it threatens the systems they are comfortable in, the cycles they've settled into. You are a disruption. You are a force of nature sent to shift the atmosphere and rewrite history. Your enemies are only serving as a reminder of how powerful you are. Their obsession with your life is proof that they are witnessing the strength and uniqueness of the anointing you carry. They may try to imitate you, they may try to tear you down, but they can never steal what's yours: your divine purpose, your divine protection, and your divine destiny. So as you embrace your journey, I want you to recognize that this period of loneliness, this time of being set apart, is not a punishment. It is divine preparation. There will be moments where you feel like you're walking alone, where the weight of your calling seems overwhelming, but I need you to trust in this process. Trust that every moment of isolation is strengthening you. Trust that every moment you feel like no one understands you, God is working on you in ways that can't be seen by the naked eye. He is fortifying you, building you up, and preparing you for the elevation that is to come. The loneliness you feel right now is simply a cocoon that will soon burst open, revealing a transformed version of yourself, stronger, wiser, and more ready to step into your purpose than ever before. As you walk through this process, remember that you are not alone. You are being prepared for greatness, and those who doubted you, who looked at your silence with confusion, will one day witness your rise. They will see the glory of God on your life in ways they never expected. Your enemies who once studied you hoping to find a flaw will one day be forced to serve the God in you. The light you carry will shine so brightly that they won't be able to ignore it. And in that moment, you will realize that everything you've been through, every moment of loneliness, every tear you shed was not in vain. It was all part of the plan, part of the preparation for your elevation. So I want to leave you with this final affirmation. You are chosen. You are protected. You are destined for greatness. You are a child of God marked with a divine purpose that no enemy can undo. And as you move forward, as you continue to walk in your divine assignment, know this: every person who doubted you, who tried to bring you down, will one day have to witness the power of God in your life. They will see the strength, the wisdom, and the favor that rest upon you. They will know that what they thought was a failure was actually the foundation for your success. Don't allow their obsession with you to pull you off course. Instead, use it as fuel. Let their attempts to tear you down push you towards your divine purpose. Every time they talk about you, every time they try to copy you, let it remind you of the unique calling you carry. You are not ordinary. You are extraordinary. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are a conqueror, chosen for such a time as this. Your journey is just beginning, and those who have tried to hold you back will one day stand in awe of what God has done in your life. Now, I want to encourage you to embrace your journey with confidence. Embrace the isolation. Embrace the silence. Embrace the moments of difficulty, because they are leading you to your destiny. God has a plan for you, a plan that no one can take away. Your enemies can watch, they can study, they can try to figure you out, but what they don't realize is that you are being established in a way that they can't even comprehend. The light you carry is so much stronger than the darkness they try to impose on you. As you move forward, I want you to remember this: you are not being investigated. You are being inaugurated. You are not a suspect. You are a success story in the making. And soon the whole world will know that you were chosen for greatness. You were designed for this moment. So don't shrink back. Don't apologize for your success. Don't shrink in the face of your enemy's obsession. Instead, stand tall. Let your light shine. Walk in the purpose that was ordained for you before the foundation of the world. You are destined to rise, and nothing can stop you. As you reflect on this message, I want to invite you to share it with someone who needs to hear this truth. Share it with someone who may be walking through a season of loneliness, a season of questioning, a season of feeling misunderstood. Let them know that they are not alone. They are being prepared for something greater. If this message resonated with you, leave a comment and let me know how it has impacted your heart. Your story is powerful and your journey is important. Let others know that they are not alone in their struggles and that they too are chosen, protected, and destined for greatness. Don't keep this revelation to yourself. Share it. Encourage others and know that the more you embrace your purpose, the more you will inspire others to do the same. The best is yet to come. Stay in the light, stay in peace, and most importantly, stay in the secret place where your strength is being built, your purpose is being refined, and your destiny is being fulfilled.